everyone. We're back with Keith Grossman for another deep dive into NFTs.
It's good to see you again.
So my first question is, why are NFTs so important?
It's a technology that allows you to validate ownership online. So like, picture this. When you're at TK, if you bring a toy and that toy doesn't have your name on it, it's the same as every other toy that other kids have. The second you put your name on it and it's Lily's toy, it can be identified as yours.
Do you think NFTs can make a real positive change in the world?
I do. It's a technology that can be used for good. Time did it for good, where we raised a lot of money for people who needed it in Ukraine. We've seen people like Nadia and Ukraine DAO and Relief raise a lot of money for people in need. And the beauty is that the Web3 ecosystem allows for the funds to be raised really quickly from all over the world.
Totally. My next question is, what's the best way to get started in NFTs?
I think the best way is really just to observe. And, before you jump into this space, think about what's actually happening, right? And so right now, NFTs are very much about collectibles and art, and they're going to change and they're going to move into other industries. But if you see a piece of art that you like for instance, in your case, if you saw A Long Necky Lady by Nyla Hayes, right? Like, maybe find one that you really like. And then if you own it, you could see what it's like to be part of that community.
Why did you bring time into the NFT space?
When I first saw the NFT space, I saw the ability to tap into the history of time and all of the great covers that it had. But then what I saw was that the NFT space provided me with a new opportunity to change the relationship I could have with the people who like our brand. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to create an ecosystem where we can have a new relationship with this community.
Wow, that's so cool. Tell us about Timepieces.
Timepieces was the community that we developed. And what we did was we thought about what makes time really great and interesting. And, the edit is really fun and wonderful and impactful. But one of the areas that everyone kept on talking to us about was the covers and what was inside that red border. And what we realized was what was inside the red border was a great artist. And that artist at any given time captured living history of that moment. And so when we realized that the power of time has been 100 years of memes, we wanted to tap into that for the next generation of artists. And so Timepieces celebrates those artists and gives the community an ownership stake in being able to help think about the future of our brand.
What's your favorite thing about NFTs?
My favorite thing is actually being able to have newfound relationships and friendships with the artists that I collect from, because the NFT allows me to buy directly from them.
So what's rug pull?
With every evolution of technology can be used for good, and it can unfortunately be used for bad. And in Web3, where it's an evolution of the internet where money can be involved, there's going to be bad players sometimes. And when they're bad players, what they do is they create an opportunity to take money from other people and not live up to their promises.
When did you get orange peeled?
Well, I've been very public that I really do like Bitcoin. I've been into Bitcoin since, I don't know, maybe 2013, 2014, when I was at Wired, and we wrote an original story about mining Bitcoin in the Wired offices. And I really got into Bitcoin. You're talking with Anthony Pompliano and some others, and I'm pretty orange peeled.
So what's the metaverse?
So there's not just one metaverse, Lily. There's actually many metaverses, and it really is the way in which a consumer can experience an enhanced reality. And so, for instance, if you think about like school, whereas you used to be able to just read about history, you could go into a metaverse that provides you with the actual experience and you could see what it's like to live through that history. And ultimately, over time, the metaverse will just be an alternative path for all of us to have really cool new experiences, sometimes educational, sometimes gaming, sometimes shopping and other types of experiences. But it really, there are many, many, many metaverses.
Why did you use the metaverse theme for the cover of Time?
Time captures living history, and the discussion of the metaverse is one that people are really talking about today. And we'll remember that this was a moment where it started to really accelerate as it relates to adoption. And what we really wanted to do, because it was an excerpt from a book about the metaverse, was tap into a little boy who the metaverse unleashed unlimited potential for. And that was a coup. And so we asked Micah Johnson, who's a timepiece artist, if he would do the cover of Time.
What are some advantages of digital property ownership over traditional art?
If you think about how much you value your online perception versus or reality versus your physical reality, if they're roughly the same, then if you want to own something in the real world, you'll also want to own it in the digital world. And ultimately, the art, as it relates, is just great creativity. And whether it's owned digitally or in the real world doesn't really matter because it's the creativity when it comes to art that you're able to own. But what's really fun about the digital sort of art movement within the NFT space is there are these things called smart contracts. And what they allow for is they allow for the artist to make money on every time their piece of art is sold. And why that's really important, Lily, is because in the past, artists used to only be able to make money at the moment they made their initial sale. And then they never really were able to make money again. But now they can make money on all of the success that their work has. In other words, like the impact that they have on society.
So what was the first NFT you ever bought?
I think the first NFT I ever bought may have been by an artist named Perrin Haderi, who I saw on Instagram one day painting ambidextrously with both hands, it means, at the exact same time. And I thought it was so cool and so unique. And she did it as a single line that I bought the piece. And then I went online and I found her speaking in a room on Clubhouse. And I thanked her for making such beautiful art.
What's your favorite collection right now?
Well, I'm biased, I kind of love timepieces, right? But I love a lot of photography work, and I love supporting the one-of-one artists more than anything else. And so I think that I don't have a favorite collection as much as I have like a favorite group, and I'm a little biased towards photographers.
So Keith, what I really want to know is, are you going to make it?
We're going to make it.
Thanks for watching Lily's show. See you next time. Bye!